Hey, Vikings Nation. Skol. Baby, we're diving into some gut-wrenching Vikings news today, and trust me, this one hits hard. Our boy Rondale Moore went down in the preseason opener against the Texans, and it's got us all holding our breath. Was it that dreaded hip drop tackle that did him in? Buckle up, because we're breaking it all down with the latest details, straight from the heart of Minnesota. Picture this, U.S. Bank Stadium, August 9th, 2025. The Vikings are battling the Houston Texans in a preseason clash. We're up 20-10, feeling good, but then bam! Our dynamic wideout Rondale Moore gets taken down hard on a punt return. The crowd goes silent as he grabs his left knee in agony. What's the deal with this play, and why's it got Coach O'Connell talking about illegal tackles? Stick with me for 15 scenes of pure Vikings passion as we unpack this heartbreaking moment, what it means for our squad, and how we rally behind Moore. Are you as fired up as I am to get the full scoop? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Let's talk Vikings football. Man, oh man, Vikings fans, let's set the stage for this one. It's the second quarter of our preseason opener against the Houston Texans, and the energy at U.S. Bank Stadium is electric. We're coming off a solid drive, and Rondale Moore, our speedster looking to make a statement, is back to return a punt. This guy's been itching to show what he can do after a tough 2024. Can he light it up? Then, out of nowhere, disaster strikes. Moore catches the punt, darts toward the sideline, and a Texans defender wraps him up, bringing him down hard out of bounds. The replay is tough to watch. His left leg gets caught awkwardly under the defender's body. You could feel the air sucked out of the stadium as trainers rush to his side. Have you ever seen a play that just stops your heart like that? Coach Kevin O'Connell's face says it all as he jogs over to check on Moore. The cart comes out, and Moore, with a towel over his head, slams his hands on it in frustration. Vikings news is buzzing with questions. How bad is this injury? And why does it feel like we've been here before with this guy? Let's dig deeper. Alright, let's talk about why this play is making waves beyond just the injury. The tackle on Moore looked an awful lot like a hip drop tackle, something the NFL banned before the 2024 season. For those who don't know, a hip drop tackle is when a defender wraps up a player, swivels their hips, and drops their weight onto the ball carrier's legs. It's a dangerous move, and the league's been cracking down on it. Coach O'Connell was seen chatting with the refs, probably asking, "Yo, was that illegal or what?" He later told reporters he needs to see the tape but admitted the play had a lot of the characteristics of a hip drop tackle. No flag was thrown, though, which has us fans screaming, "Come on, refs, protect our guys." What's your take? Should that have been a penalty? This isn't just about one play, it's about player safety. The NFL's been trying to coach this tackle out of the game, but as O'Connell said, it might take a generation to fully eliminate it. For now, we're left wondering how this impacts our Vikings, especially with Moore down. Let's keep going. Vikings Nation, let's zoom in on Rondale Moore's story, because this guy's journey is a roller coaster. Drafted in the second round by the Cardinals in 2021, Moore was a Purdue phenom with blazing speed and YAC ability that had fans dreaming big. But injuries have haunted him, first a hamstring issue in 2019, then limited play in 2020, and a brutal ACL tear in his right knee last year with the Falcons. After missing all of 2024, Moore signed with the Vikings this offseason, ready to prove he's more than a gadget guy. Wide receivers coach Keenan McCardell was hyped, saying Moore can run routes, stop and start, and catch like a pro. We were all pumped to see him explode in purple and gold. Anyone else have high hopes for Moore this season? Now, this new left knee injury feels like a punch to the gut. Moore was out there, giving it his all only to be carted off again. Vikings News is calling it heartbreaking, and I'm right there with you. Let's talk about what Coach O'Connell said next. Here's where things get grim, folks. After the game, Coach O'Connell faced the media and didn't sugarcoat it. He said Moore's left knee injury is pretty significant, and they're waiting on an MRI scheduled for Sunday, August 10th, 2025, to know the full extent. When a coach calls an injury significant, you know it's not good news for Vikings fans. O'Connell's tone was heavy, saying it's one of the most painful things, as a head coach to see a player go down like that. He even called it heartbreaking, especially given Moore's history of fighting back from that ACL tear. Can you imagine what Moore's feeling right now, after grinding through a year of rehab just to face this? The Vikings won the game 20-10, but this loss stings. Moore was set to be a key piece in our return game and a potential WR3, especially with Jordan Addison suspended for the first 3 games of the season. What do you think? Can we bounce back from this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about that hip drop tackle again because it's got us all fired up. The NFL's definition is clear. A defender wraps the ball carrier, rotates their hips, and drops onto their legs. It's a move that can crush a player's lower body, and Moore's injury is a textbook example of why it's banned. Yet no penalty was called. How does that even happen? O'Connell was diplomatic, saying he doesn't think there was bad intent from the Texans' defender. But come on, Vikings Nation. We're out here trying to protect our players, and the refs miss a call like that? It's frustrating, especially since Moore's injury might have been preventable. Anyone else feeling like the NFL needs to step up enforcement? The bigger picture is that eliminating hip drop tackles is a slow process. As O'Connell noted, it's a 3-part process to flag it on the field, and old habits die hard. But for now, we're left praying for Moore's recovery. Let's move to what this means for our roster. Vikings fans, let's break down our WR depth chart, because this injury shakes things up. With Moore likely sidelined, we're looking at Justin Jefferson as WR1, obviously, and Jalen Nailor stepping up as WR2 while Addison serves his suspension. But who fills that WR3 spot now? Lucky Jackson and rookie Ty Felton are the next guys up. Moore was our top punt returner, a role where his speed and elusiveness could have been a game-changer. Last year, the Vikings ranked dead last in punt returns, so Moore was our hope for a spark. Now, Jackson or Felton might have to step into that role. Who do you trust to handle punt returns? Jackson's experience or Felton's upside? Rondale Moore, left on a cart with a towel over his head. It's raw and we're all feeling it. The Expos also calls out the NFL's officiating, with fans frustrated that no flag was thrown for the hip drop tackle. It's sparking debates about player safety and whether the league's serious about enforcing these rules. What's your take? Does the NFL need to do more to protect guys like Moore? We're a passionate fan base, and this moment is testing us. Drop a comment with your message to Moore or your thoughts on the refs. Let's keep the Skull spirit alive and support our guy through this. Alright, let's talk about what's next for Moore. The MRI on August 10, 2025, will tell us more, but the early word isn't promising. A significant knee injury could mean anything from a multi-week recovery to another season ender. Vikings News is bracing for the worst but hoping for a miracle. Moore's been here before, and his resilience is inspiring. He spent his 2024 recovery studying film, refining his game, and coming back stronger. If anyone can fight through this, it's him. But realistically, what's the timeline? Weeks, months, or longer? Share your predictions below. The Vikings will likely place Moore on injured reserve if the MRI confirms a major injury. That opens a roster spot but leaves us thin. Let's talk about how we adapt without him. Vikings fans, let's wrap this up with a look at our team's heart. This injury sucks, but it's moments like this that show what makes the Vikings special. Players kneeling on the sideline, praying for Moore, and Jefferson staying late with him. It's a family. That's why we bleed purple and gold. Coach O'Connell said Moore won't face this alone, and neither will we. Vikings Nation, let's rally behind our team as we head into a crucial season. We've got McCarthy, Jefferson, and a defense ready to dominate. Can we overcome this setback? Here's my call to action. Smash that like button if you're riding with the Vikings no matter what. Drop a comment with your thoughts on Moore's injury, our WR depth, or who we should sign. Subscribe and hit the bell for more Vikings news, and share this with your fellow Skull fans. Let's keep the faith. Skull Vikings.